All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We have a special guest with us today, former show organizer for Texas Pinball Festival. And, like he stated before to me, like, just when he thought he was out, they pull him right back in.
Just when I
so,
thought I was out, they pull me back in.
so here he is getting involved in a show that you may or may not have heard of called Pinball at the Beach. And it's like, I have to wonder now, Ed, are you a glutton for punishment or something? Because, you were basically retired. You could just visit these shows and just be a guest and just have fun. But you, for whatever reason, keep getting involved to where you're helping out, getting being a show organizer, or what's going on there?
Well, it wasn't just for, it wasn't for no reason. I mean, TPF became what it is, and I'm very proud of TPF. Kim and I are very proud of TPF, but it was just time for us to step away. And just like, a lot of rock stars, or not that I'm a rock star, but just like a lot of people that they retire or they decide to do things, they miss it. So Kim and I left TPF, and I mean, I won't lie, we went to the show last year. I did miss a lot of the aspects of running the show, but TPF just grew to be so large that we just needed to step aside. It was just time for us to step aside and let the show continue on without us. So it was nice having the year or two off. Marshall Dixon in Florida owns Little Shop of Games. For those that know Marshall, I was visiting with him. He had actually asked me about helping him run a pinball show. We went back and forth with some ideas, and the way this show is set up, it's set up a lot differently than most pinball shows that people are used to. So I said, sure, I'm helping. I am not. I mean, I know I look like I'm the face again of the show and doing a lot of the brunt work, but I can tell you that I am just a volunteer. I am not financially tied to Pinball at the Beach. This is Marshall's show, and I'm just helping because Marshall's a good distributor, and he knows a lot of people in the pinball industry, and I kind of know a little bit about running a pinball show. So here I am. Kim is not, other than the occasional piece of Photoshop. Kim's not really helping at all. She'll be at the show, but my goal is to get the show up and running, and then you're going to see me at the bar and on the beach and at the pool and with everybody else during Pinball at the Beach.
Yeah.
So here I am.
I think that's definitely, from what I can tell, because this is a new show. This is something that's
Brand new.
completely like not hasn't been done before. And so you listed off already 2 or 3 different things that we're not accustomed to seeing at pinball shows: a pool, a beach. We're accustomed to seeing a bar, but yeah, a couple of things like that. This is something new. And is it like I guess we have so many shows that go over the course of a year. Of course, you have TPF that's in like March, and Expo. Those are the 2 biggest ones that happen in October. And so this is merely the possible first. And I guess depending on how well it hits off and how well it goes, it may become an annual thing.
That's the plan. You don't know until you know. So when Marshall and I talked about this, I kind of told him, I said, I have no idea how this is going to go. The concept is, we're not trying to replace TPF or Chicago Expo. Those have become very large, industry type shows. Pinball at the Beach, I hate to use the word pinball party, but that's at the beach, but that's really kind of the angle we're shooting for here. The Florida people are like, well, I can go to the beach anytime. Well, yeah, it's kind of like the people that come to TPF from out of town. They're all excited about getting barbecue, and all the Texans go, well, I can get barbecue anytime. I go to Hard Eight. Well, I get it, Florida. I know the beach part is not necessarily for you, but you don't have to buy airfare and stuff. I mean, you can drive right to the event. But how cool would it be to just hang out with all the pinball celebrities or your favorite pinball people? And they're going to be at the beach bars and at the pool and at the beach itself, and there's a sunset, and we're talking about I'm working with the hotel about doing a bonfire on the beach one evening, and there's all kinds of those kind of things going on. And of course there's going to be all the new games, all the newest games from all the manufacturers are going to be there. Marshall Dixon, the primary collection, much like Rob Burke brings all of his personal games to Chicago Expo, Marshall Dixon has just an incredible collection. He's going to bring all of those. I get the question, well, it looks like it's going to be all new stuff. Well, yeah, that's kind of what, because he's a distributor, that's what's going to get pushed but there's going to be a lot of cool old stuff there. I don't have a game list. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we got Hanger Pinball out of Tulsa. They're going to come do karaoke with John Borg's already said that he'll do some karaoke with us. Titan Pinball is they're sponsoring the big welcoming event where they're buying a round of appetizers and hors d'oeuvres for everybody one evening, and that's kind of that. It's a social VIP experience. I mean, we want people there. Everyone is going to get this intimate access to all of the Steve Ritchie and Mark Ritchie and George Gomez and all the pinball people. Cary Hardy's going to be walking around, shaking hands and kissing babies and whatever you need him to do. So it's kind of, I mean, if you see where I'm going with this, it's not going to be just a run and gun. We're not going to have the traditional seminars. Seminars are great. Go to TPF, go to Chicago Expo for that stuff. I want you to come to Pinball at the Beach and have a good time, hang out with John Borg, doing some karaoke at the beach, playing all the new games. It's a beach town, so it's a vacation.
So, like the guest list that you currently have on the website, which it even says more guests to be announced. You have currently Gary Stern, George Gomez, Christopher Franchi, John Borg, Steve Ritchie, Mark Ritchie, Spooky Pinball, Jack Danger, David Van S, Eric Minier, Brian Eddy, Dwight Sullivan, Scott Denisi, and myself. And so along with that, like you said, you're going to have all the new games. And so we already know it's confirmed that Spooky Pinball will be bringing their newest announced Evil Dead. I mean, is it a safe bet to say if another manufacturer announces a game between now and Pinball at the Beach, would we be able to possibly see their game there?
Yeah, well, sure. And I don't know, talking to manufacturers, they're all, it's kind of like planning a wedding, or they don't want to commit or promise that they're going to launch their game the first quarter, but it's a safe bet that somebody is going to, besides Spooky, is going to launch a game. But I don't want to get in a situation where Stern says they're going to launch, and then Jersey Jack Pinball says, well, if Stern's going to launch, I'm not, we're going to wait, or and I know TPF is the big one that a lot of the manufacturers like to launch at, but this is a different kind of show. I think I can safely say, if you're familiar with Tilt Bob, the gentleman that built the Elf custom game, he's starting up a little pinball company in Florida, and he's going to be making the pinball road trip. Is that correct? Does that sound right to you?
You said it before, so I'm assuming that's what it is, because you haven't. I mean, twice in a row you said.
Yeah. So he's gonna bring a few of those games to Pinball at the Beach. He's out of Florida, so that's an easy trip for him. But yeah, I would think that somebody's going to be launching some games if they're ready. Of course, I hate promising, but if you look at our guest list, especially like on the Stern side, maybe who's coming. Usually designers and artists and stuff. They usually don't go to pinball shows if they're still haven't quite launched the game, because they can't. They're still busy working on it.
Yeah.
So I can't make promises. Because I hate for anybody to be disappointed, but I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed.
So, like, when it comes to like the hotel information, it's like I'm guessing you were discussing with me is that sometimes like the on-site like reservation thing may be an issue. The thing with the trade winds, it's a fantastic beach resort, but they have never done anything like this. They've never, they're used to hosting company corporate conferences and stuff. They're not used to having what I've been trying to tell them what's coming their way. So the online system is the way it normally works is they block out the what we would normally think of as a room block for the hotel, and then the people running the event would give out the rooms or make the reservations. Well, that's not how it works for a pinball show, because I'm not going to be the reservation specialist for the hotel. So they put up the reservation link, and they block out whatever days. Well, if Sunday sells out and you go on the website online and you put in Friday through Monday, well, it's just going to come back and say everything's sold out. It's not even going to try to tell you what's going on. So, and it's it's not the fault of the trade winds, other than it's just an older system. They do need to update this, and I've had conversations with them about it. But
If you have not made a reservation, there are still rooms available. There's not many. Probably by the time you hear this, there's going to be a dozen or so for Friday or Saturday night at the Pinball at the Beach room rate. But you have to call the hotel. Call the hotel, and that's the other thing. It's Monday. They have these hotel specialists that only for group rates, they only work Monday through Friday during business hours. So you got to call Monday through Friday during business hours, ask for the Pinball at the Beach rate. They'll fix you up. If there's a day that's not available, they'll give you options. You can get it at the regular hotel rate for that one day, or sometimes they've been pretty good about squeezing it in if you're getting all the other rooms, but I can't make promises on that. But call the hotel. The hotel number is on the website. It's on Facebook. Just call the Tradewinds. Tell them what you're looking for. They will fix you up. And the Tradewind has a sister hotel right next to it called the Rumfish. They're pretty much side by side. And once Pinball at the Beach rooms sell out, they'll start selling over there. But you can walk out onto the beach, walk down to the beach, walk right into Pinball at the Beach, or walk down the sidewalk out front.
I mean, I've looked at some footage for this like destination, the location where this is at, and it looks beautiful. And it's like I also see that even on the itinerary, for whatever reason, the sunsets are like on a time basis. So like, is there like a particular reason why we're like flagging up when the sunset is? Or?
Well, because it's for those of us that have hang out in Florida, or it's just another thing for people to do. I mean, I'm not expecting and this is just like TPF. Every pinball person that comes to TPF, sometimes the person they drag along with them is not particularly a pinball person. So they, and I'm just trying to put other things out there, remind people, there's a nice sunset going on, and I already looked it up. That's 6:10. That's what time the sun sets over the Gulf, and it's a perfect, beautiful sunset, weather permitting. If it's it's cloudy. If it's cloudy, I can't help you there. But I can
Ed promised us a damn good time, and it clouds all over the place.
What the hell? Exactly. He promised there'd be a beautiful sunset. But no, that's a sunset. And like I said, I haven't put it on this calendar yet, but I'm talking to the hotel, and they said, we do bonfires on the beach too. So I thought, well, man, that would be fun, to get all, get somebody to jump over the bonfire and stuff like that. No, I'm kidding. We're not.
Yeah, there's like a 2-story like air up slide that's there. I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's there all the time. That's one of their big things. You can get up on the slide. Now that's reserved for so if you are a guest of the hotel and you pay the resort fee as part of your room, and when you book your Pinball at the Beach room, the resort fee is included in the rate. It may not show it online, but when you make your final reservation, they'll have that added in there. So you get full access to all of that stuff. I know they have like a little paddle boat thing that goes around the hotel. There's I don't know what they told me. There's like several pools, 10 bars and restaurants, that big slide thing. That's all included as part of your resort fee as a guest. If you are not staying at the hotel, but you just want to bring your bathing suit along with you, you can go to the hotel front desk and buy the daily pass. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing 30, 40, 50 bucks for the day, but that gives you full access to everything the hotel has to offer as far as all those fun water activities and the beach and stuff. If you're coming just for the pinball show, you don't need to mess with that. You can just come to the pinball show. But if you want to hang out at the beach and, do the bonfire and every person at the hotel gets a private cabana on the beach. They get a private 2-person little cabana on the beach. It's really nice. You can see those in some of the pictures, all those little cabanas that are lined up. So that's what I mean by we're trying to make this an experience. I mean, not that I know that somebody, well, I'm not going to a pinball show just to, lay on the beach. And so, well, then, you know what, then don't come. I mean, this show is not for you. I mean, this show is not going to be for everybody. I know it's not going to be a cheap show for people to attend. So, and if the show's not for you, it's not for you, and that's okay. And that, not every show is for everybody. So we're just trying to make this an experience that, you can come to this great pinball show, play all the new games, hang out with all the cool people, and, spend some time on the beach. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, like it definitely seems like you're highlighting it to be something different in the aspect of like, the type of people that are going to be there. It says this is a new and exclusive VIP experience pinball show. And it's going to be featuring 200 plus pinball machines, but it's also limited to how many tickets are going to be available to purchase.
Well, we're going to limit. So, and that was it. So, we kind of did some math, and Marshall did some math, and just just to pay for this first year is all about just getting the show. We want the show to break even and, make a little bit so we can plan for next year. So we're going to limit the weekend sales to 1,000 tickets. Now, we haven't sold that, and we may not, and that's okay. And I talked to Marshall about it, and he said, you know what, if we sell half of that, it's going to be an awesome party, and we're going to have all these cool games. So it's 1,000 passes available plus 104 tournament passes, which include the weekend pass. So you're talking 1,104 people, which the 104 of those people are going to be in the tournament area on Friday and Saturday mostly. And then there's going to be, the vendors, the show staff, VIPs, the celebrities, maybe 100 more people, if you count up all of our celebrity guests and their families that they're bringing and the show staff and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're talking at max a 1,200 person show, and we're not even halfway there yet. So, and it may not get there. So it's going to be, so if you come to this first show, it's, it may end up being like, you ever go on a cruise and the boat's half full and you're like, man, this is awesome. I mean, it may end up being like that. So, but even at 1,000 people, there's, the Tradewinds has that many rooms, not at the special rate that we got, but there's room for everybody. Okay. Or you can stay anywhere you want to. It's a beach town. There's beach resorts all over the place.
Probably some Airbnbs as well, maybe.
There's Airbnbs, whatever you want to do. The only thing that might be kind of tricky is parking, because it is a beach town. It's not a lot of free parking. I mean, there are the parking areas that you can pay to park. The hotel's parking, I want to say, if you're not a hotel guest, it's $25 a day or something like that. But again, it's it's a beach town. It's not in the middle of nowhere. That's what the cost is. I'm sorry. I've been telling people this is not a cheap show to go to, and we get that. We get that.
Yeah, and like you said, this is like the first a possible mini, but so this could be a chance for either you people out there to go, I went to the only pinball at the beach, or you could also say that you went to the very first pinball at the beach.
And I'm going to use the same line I used with TPF, and for the folks in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, that the surrounding area within driving distance. I know a lot of people have heard, oh, this is going to be awesome. We're going to get this, this TPF caliber show, which it's not. It's going to be, half the size. But we are bringing all these cool pinball people, and a lot of it is going to depend on you. I mean, if the show's successful, we'll do it again. If the show is, when I say successful, if the show's not financially viable to do again, we may not do it again, but at least for this one show for 2025, it's going to be an awesome show. We may not do it again, but if everybody comes and we get a lot of support, and that's the thing, we're not really looking for a lot of exhibitor, like people to bring their games. Now, if you've got something super awesome that you just want to bring to the show to share with everybody, shoot me an email. But for the most part, we're not looking for exhibitors and stuff. I mean, Marshall's going to supply the bulk of the games. A lot of the manufacturers are going to supply the bulk of the games. We've got Pinball Asylum down in Fort Myers. They're going to bring some games. So we do have a few select clubs and groups that are going to supplement the show with so there's going to be plenty of games. We were talking, and I'm going to back up a little bit, but we were talking about the schedule, and I talked about Titan Pinball sponsoring. I got to get all my sponsors in here. So Titan Pinball is going to sponsor the.
I can list them off all right here.
Yeah. And then JJ Babbage of Colorado Game Exchange. He's going to do a round of drinks on JJ on Saturday, and then that's going to be followed up with the karaoke. I don't have the locations of those events nailed down just yet, because I'm talking with the hotel, because we have a lot of options. We can take over one of the bars. The hotel is offering to give us our own private little space for a lot of these events that we can have somewhere, or have it in the main ballroom where the show itself is going on. So I don't know. You'll have all the information by the time people show up to get their name tags and the wristbands. They'll have all the information.
And like you've basically, I mean, people that are watching this probably see me look over here, is because I'm looking at the website, and it's got pretty much every bit of details of information that you could possibly ask for.
Yeah.
So like the sponsors, you got Little Shop of Games, Titan Pinball, Nitro Pinball USA, Jersey Jack Pinball, Game Exchange of Colorado, Hangar Pinball USA, and a whole list of vendors as well that's going to be here too.
And it's not going to be huge. In your vendor list, it's not going to be huge. And I'm not to disparage any other, type of show, but you're not going to find, your Beanie Baby vendors and your candies and chocolates and the retro video games. And there's nothing wrong with that stuff because other shows have the space for that. I don't have the space for that at Pinball at the Beach. We just don't. So the few vendors, and I'm going to sign up some more vendors. I've got a list of emails. I've been, it's been Thanksgiving, but I've got more vendors coming to sign up. But it is going to be, we want very specific pinball oriented, cool stuff that, so when people come there, it's like, okay, well, these are toppers, or, I got one, and I say toppers because I got one topper company that I'm talking to right now. But yeah, it's just gonna be very specific pinball oriented vendors, and you're not going to find, comic book vendors and that kind of stuff.
So like it's dated for February 7th through the 9th in 2025, everybody. And I don't know what the weather's like in February in Florida, but I know here, and you as well know as I do, it's usually friggin' cold over here in Texas at that
Well,
time.
it's even colder in Chicago, and that's why people, and that's the big thing. People are like, how did you get all these pinball people, all these, how did you get all these designers and artists to come to the show? I said, it's freaking February in Chicago right now. All I had to say is, hey, you want to come spend a weekend at the beach in Florida, where the median temperature in February in Florida is, high 70s, low 80s at the coldest, so, and of course they're like, hell yeah, I want to come do that. So it wasn't that hard to get Jack Danger and everybody to say, absolutely, I'm going to come to Florida.
Yeah, exactly. And so when it comes to the pricing, you have the list of the pricing of the tickets right here. You have your weekend passes, says limited to 1,000. The price did change as of December 1st, everyone. The price did go up to $150 beginning December 1st, and it's going to go up again January 1st to $199.
It is. We did a early bird. It was actually supposed to go up November 1st, but Florida had those two hurricanes. We know a lot of the locals got tied up in that kind of dealing with the two hurricanes that came through. It really kind of set things back, especially for the hotel. We were very worried about the hotel itself, the resort, but the resort's back. They're even back open now. They've assured us that everything is great. Everything is awesome.
Yeah.
So we did push the early bird rate of 125 to December 1st. And on December 1st, it went to 150. On January 1st, it goes to the full at the door price of $199. So, but what I'm going to do for Cary Hardy fans and viewers is I'm going to give Cary a special promo code, Hardy Pinball. If you go to Pinball, if you haven't got your tickets yet, I'll still give them to you at the 125 rate. If you put in the promo code Hardy Pinball, all no space, all one word, at checkout, it's going to knock another $25 off each weekend pass. So that's not good for merchandise or for the tournaments. There are a few tournament spots still left. So if you're a tournament player, you want to get in, that's limited to 104 players. But if you just want to get a pass, you want to save $25 on each pass, Hardy Pinball at checkout, and you'll be in.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I was gonna test it. Is it all one word?
It's all one word. Yeah, go to check it out.
Let me just make sure.
Add one to cart. Hardy Pinball.
Bam, $25 off right there for discount code. It does work. He wasn't lying, everybody. So thank you very much, Ed, for that. That's awesome. You didn't have to do it, but you did it, so that's great. So I mean, like I said, I'm going to put links to the video description down below, guys. It's going to be the website. It's got pretty much everything you could possibly ask for when it comes to information about the show and what's going to be there. And I'm obviously going to have some footage of what the place looks like from the outside. I've seen some drone footage. It looks to be like it's going to be very beautiful. And I'm definitely excited about the show because I think, like you've already stated, it's going to be different than the other shows that we're kind of accustomed to going to.
I'm not trying to compete with TPF or be anything like that, or Chicago Expo or any of the other pinball shows. This is going to be literally what the title says: Pinball at the Beach. Come play all the new stuff. Come hang out with all your friends on the beach. Have some drinks at the bar. Great seafood. And the whole area itself has got all kinds of stuff. And for you Disney fanatics, it's only 2 hours away from Disney. So if you're that hell bent on Disney or Universal, straight across I-4, you'll be there in 2 hours.
And of course, you've got T-shirts, and the artwork is done by Christopher Franchi. That artwork looks pretty damn awesome on that. I'm loving it. Are those going to be available, I guess, at the front desk, just like at TPF whenever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a limited number. I mean, I'm not going to order the numbers like TPF. So if you really want one of those colors and sizes, you need to order it online and we'll ship it to you. And then, of course, whatever is left, and we'll probably order some more to have at the show, but whatever's left, we'll have at the show, and they'll be available for sale there. But if you want to make sure you get the color and size that you're looking for, it'd be best to order it online.
All right. So, I mean, Ed, is there anything else that you could think of that we need to make sure we get out to everybody?
No, I hope to see everybody. Growing pains, it's like I said before, the Tradewinds has never done anything like this before. So one of the biggest, funniest conversations I had with them was talking about power. And those that have ever been to a pinball show know power is always an issue. It even took the embassy a few years to get it figured out for TPF. But so I'm talking to the Tradewinds, and I'm telling them how many pinball machines, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, no, we got plenty of power. It's not going to be a problem." I'm like, I don't think you understand. They're like, no, it's going to be great. We've got lots of power. I'm like, I don't think you understand, And I'm like, well, where's your power guys? And like, oh yeah, they'll come down and talk to it. We got power strips, and I'm like,
oh my gosh!
So like I said,
like just 6 plug.
Yeah. So we got all Thursday to set up to figure out the
okay,
hopefully
good.
But luckily there's not going to be quite it's quite the size of the other shows. So but yeah, so for those of you that come to the show, oh man, pitch in a hand. If you arrive early on Thursday, we'll take your help setting up and just be patient with us, and it's going to be awesome. I did bring some of the volunteers from TPF are going to come help, so they kind of know how registration goes. It should go pretty smoothly, but be a little forgiving with us for this very first show. Next year you can be more angry if things don't go quite as smoothly.
Well, I've honestly got quite a few people, especially even on my Patreon, that do live in Florida, and they've already registered, and they're excited about the show as well.
Yeah,
so
we're excited too.
It's already gotten pretty well known, but I'm hoping this kind of gives a little bit more of a word out there to those that just didn't know it existed, kind of thing.
All right, I hope so. Yep, but yeah, bring your shark costumes, and it's going to be a good time. That's the big thing is we want everyone to have fun.
All right. So thank you very much, Ed, for all the information and joining me on this. Like I said, guys, links in the video description down below. And I hope to see you all at Pinball at the Beach. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Cary. See ya.